Hello, you guys. It's your girl Uzo, and this is Uzo BE Living, a vlog where I talk about living, studying, working, and just generally doing life in Belgium. Today is story time. You guys know that I've been promising to talk about how I was homeless in Belgium for a few weeks. And today is that day that I'm going to be sharing the story with you guys. I'm going to be sharing what happened, and then I'm also going to be sharing the lessons I learned. You know that I always learn lessons, and I always share them with you guys to save someone out there. So I'm going to be sharing what happened and the lessons I learned. However, if I see that the story, the gist, is becoming too long, I'm going to divide the video into two parts. So the first part is going to be my story, and then the second part is going to be the lessons I learned. But let's see how it goes. If you're ready to get started, let's begin. Okay, so if you've been following me for a while or you've gone through my videos, you know that when I first came to Belgium, I was almost homeless. For the first 3 weeks of my stay here, I couldn't find accommodation. So I was moving from hotel to hotel to hotel, and it was an incredibly stressful experience. If you haven't watched that video, you need to watch the video. I'm going to put the link below so that you can catch up. It was an incredibly stressful, period for me because, of course, moving to a new country, not knowing anyone, and having to deal with such was just crazy. However, it was nothing compared to what I went through last year. Last year, it was really crazy. Like, I was literally homeless. I mean, not on the street. When people talk about homelessness, they think, oh, you're on the street, and oh, I wasn't on the street. But homelessness means that you don't have like a permanent place of abode, permanent place of residence. So you're going from here to there and all of that. And that was literally my situation. For instance, see where I had to keep all my stuff during that period. I think it lasted about a month. I had to keep my stuff here. I was literally living out of a box, and I was sleeping on my friend's couch. Actually, two of them. You know, I'm incredibly grateful that I didn't end up on the streets. I'm very, very thankful. But it was an incredibly, stressful moment for me. However, I am actually really grateful for that experience because it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about living in Belgium, accommodation, and something I'm going to share with you later on. It taught me a lot about myself, and it helped me to appreciate relationships because, like, if I didn't have, these people who helped me, I wonder what I would have done. I'm not sure I would have been able to, afford moving from hotel to hotel or putting my stuff in storage or something like that. So I'm actually really grateful that even though it was a very stressful experience that I went through it, and I'm better equipped now, for myself and also for you. So anyway, let's get into the story. You know what? Before we even get into the story, I have to let you know that finding accommodation in this country, hey, it's not easy. Oh, it's not easy. So if you're planning to move here, either as an international student or you found work, I will advise you. I will advise you, even before you come, try to form communities or try to find someone who can help you. And actually, you should pay the person because when I tell you all the things I went through, you will agree with me. If you can get somebody, pay the person, oh, please help me find accommodation, then life will be easier for you. If you don't know anyone when you're coming, you don't have any connections, you don't have anywhere to stay, don't just brave it and think, oh yeah, I'm going to come and get an Airbnb. Well, if you have unlimited funds, I mean, that's okay. But if you know that you're going to be living according to budget, before you come, you just make sure you take action because otherwise, when you get here, premium tears. But anyway, having said that, let me tell you guys what happened. Okay, so in December of 2024, I had issues with my landlord in the sense that he was Nigerian, and my rent was supposed to cover utilities and everything. But then This man, you pay rent and internet is not working, dustbin hasn't been taken, interesting things like that. So I said to myself, I said, I can't deal with this because I'm working so hard. That was when I even started working in the logistics company. So I said, I'm working too hard to be dealing with this thing. So let me better look for a place. And at the same time, and yeah, I was having run-ins with him because I'm the sort of person who I don't like injustice. If I'm paying for something, and the thing about me is I never used to wait until, because my rent is supposed to be paid on the 31st. I never used to wait till the 31st, right? So as soon as I have my rent, even if it's the 20th, 24th, 25th, I always pay my rent on time. So it make sense that after paying my rent on the 24th, the internet goes off on 27th. Why? You know. Anyway, this thing had been going on for a while, so I decided that, you know what, let me just find another place. So a friend of mine had just gotten an apartment, so I said, okay, I'll take the second room because there were two rooms in the apartment. So I said, I'll take the second room. Bear in mind, I saw the apartment though, but you know this thing where people, because the first day I went to see the apartment, the person who was living there at the time and his wife, like they were really trying to convince me about, oh, the apartment is a nice place, you should take it, blah blah blah. And of course, they still had their stuff around, and it's very difficult to really see everything that is going on, when there are too many things going on. So I saw the apartment and I was like, okay, yeah, well, I'll take it. First of all, the room that I took was smaller than I usually would take because I have a lot of stuff. I can't even lie. It's incredible when I think about the fact that I hate clutter, but I always have a lot of stuff. So the room was small, but I was like, well, I'll manage because I'm someone who's able to organize things and make it and keep a lot of things out of sight. So I was like, okay, it's okay, I'll manage. But when I finally moved in, the house had problems with mold. I think there was a circulation problem. So the house had problems with mold. Like from the very first week I moved in, I couldn't breathe anymore. I wasn't sleeping. I started to have headaches. It affected my entire well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally. I was always crying. And then not to even talk about the fact that it was so far from work. If you guys have watched my Sechi experience video, I was living very far from work, so I literally had to wake up at 3. My alarm would go off at 3:30. Then I would have to get up at 3:48 to be out of the house to be able to take the 501 bus. So the whole thing, it was driving me nuts. And then plus this guy that we were renting from, like he was just a lot to deal with. I mean, I don't like stress because I'm an introvert, and it's very important to me that my space is comfortable because I like to spend a lot of time inside. But the guy was giving headache, like there started to be a lot of anxiety and all. So I gave notice. I said, I'm leaving. That was the beginning of my problem. First of all, I didn't get a place. Like I've been looking. I think I had that for that situation. It wasn't even bad because I think I had maybe 5 or 6 viewings, or actually 5 viewings. I was very particular about what I wanted, so I had a list. The first thing on my list was that the apartment or studio had to be like close to public transport and close to stores because I don't have a car. I'm not learning to drive, and while I'm living in Antwerp City, I have no intentions of doing that. So for me, it was absolutely important that it had to be close to stores and it had to be close to transport. It was also important for me, given the situation I had in terms of proximity to work. It was also important to me that it was maximum 15 minutes from the central station because I used to take the train to work. So it didn't make sense to me. Where I was living before, I was spending like 40 minutes in the morning, before getting to the central station. Then you get to, like, honestly, I was spending like 2.5 hours on the road before getting to work. So you can imagine how tiring that is. And then imagine coming back home as well. So it was very important to me that it wasn't more than 10-15 minutes away from the central station. It was also important to me, well, as a gym girl now, it was important to me that I had the gym close by, even if not walkable, but maybe 10 minutes by bus. Natural light was important to me. And it's always important to me. And as an aside, thinking back, reflecting on all the places I've stayed over time, I realized that I have always had natural light. So I didn't realize how important it was to me until I stayed in a place where I didn't have light, and that place almost you almost took my mental health away. So anyway, natural light was important. Proximity to public transport and stores important. Proximity to a gym important, and then also that everything in the house was okay. Everything, like, it's not like you flush toilet, it's not flushing. The shower water is not going. No, no, no. I didn't want any of that stress. I just wanted everything to be okay. Anyway, it got to a point where it seemed as though I wasn't going to be able to get a place before my tenancy was up. So I had to move all my stuff to the living room and then stay on the couch. But thankfully, in my desperation and also thankfully, I finally got a place. Yeah, a place on the last day of my tenancy. But again, I was very desperate. And one thing I have learned, and I knew that before, this experience, but it keeps resonating, is never make any decision from a place of desperation, because then you land into hot water. I went to view a place, I think a day to the day my tenancy was going to expire. So my tenancy was going to run out on the 30th of April, and then I think I went to see a place on the 29th or something. When I went there, I actually found the place on Facebook. I liked it, but in retrospect, I remember that I was a bit concerned because I was sharing with a friend, like, what do you think? Oh, does this place have natural light? I mean, the location was perfect. 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 8 minutes walk to Central Station, 10 minutes walk to the gym, stores, more stores I can even imagine, even African stores, more stores around me that I can ever imagine. It was a nice one bedroom apartment, and but there was no light, like it was dark. But when I went to visit, the house boss put on all the lights, so it seemed bright. So I was saying to my friend this, I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" He was like, "Yeah, it's okay, no problem." So anyway, I went to view it, and then the lady said, "Oh, she has other people coming, but she will let me know." I was like, "Oh, I really like it. Please, I hope you give it to me." She said, "Okay." And then the next day, yeah, the next day, okay, I went to view on the 30th because next day was May 1st. By then, all my stuff was already out on the out in the living in back in where I used to live. So on the first, she called me and said, "Okay, you can come and sign the contract." Again, remember I said I had reservations. So I said to my friend, I said, "Please come with me. Let's go and look at it together. You tell me what you think." And this again is where I think it's important to have friends who remind you of who you are, so that of course, I know my situation was desperate. By the 30th, I had moved my stuff all to the living. I set up a bed in the living. It wasn't a comfortable situation because, of course, somebody new is coming to the house, and then they have to deal with all of your stuff and all. But yeah, anyway, we went there, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, it's nice, it's okay, I like it, blah blah." To be fair, the apartment was beautiful. It was beautiful. I'm going to show you guys now. But however, it didn't have natural light. So yeah, that was the thing that totally killed me, because it was a basement. I knew already, and then I also knew that this basement is going to be cold because, of course, it's a basement. I've never lived in a basement, but I had an idea that basement is going to be cold and you're not going to get enough natural light. But still, because of desperation, I went in. I cried because, like, literally, you're struggling to see the sunlight. And again, like I said, I'm an introvert, but yeah, I didn't want to stay at home. I never wanted to be at home because there was just a lot going on. It felt too dark. I always had to turn on the lights and so many other things. During summer, it was not a great time for me. So I gave notice and said I didn't want to stay there. I know, let me find trouble. I know. I was the one that looked for trouble. I gave notice and said I didn't want to stay. But to be fair, actually, I also gave notice because remember, I was on my search year. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to extend my visa post search year. So in my mind, I thought, well, I was going to Nigeria in September for birthday celebrations and stuff. And in my mind, I thought you possibly could be going to Nigeria, coming back to pack your stuff and going back home, because I wasn't sure how I was going to extend my stay. So when I gave notice, it wasn't just about, oh, I don't like this place, it makes me uncomfortable. it was also considering the fact that I didn't want to, because you have to give 3 months notice, right? So I gave notice in July. Yeah, July. And I was considering the fact that my card would expire in October and I didn't want to continue paying rent from Nigeria just in case. So yeah, as much as I didn't like the darkness, it was also about that. So I gave notice anyway. So I had August, September till October 31. And that's where the drama started. In my mind, I thought this whole process, like finding a new place, would take a few weeks, maybe 2 months. But hey, God, it took August, September. Most of September was in Nigeria anyway. So August, yeah, September, October, November, and then I finally found this place at the end of November. For me initially, I was looking for, because the basement, as you saw, was a one-bedroom apartment. So I was looking for a one-bedroom apartment or a self-contained, but I didn't want a room, except it would be like a private room, like my room with my own toilet and bathroom. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm quite pedantic. I'm very particular about my space. So it was very important for me. Kitchen, yeah, I mean, I hate dirty. In fact, I hate dirty spaces generally. But when it comes to toilet and bathroom, I'm more particular than the kitchen because, I have lived in student accommodation and I realize I don't have to cook all the time if I don't want to. So I literally don't have to go in there all the time. So yeah, with kitchen, yeah, okay, but toilet and bathroom absolutely important. So I was looking for either a private room or self-con or one-bedroom apartment. But later on, someone came to me and said, "Oh, she's also looking for a place. That how about we come together and try to find a place together?" And I was like, "Ah, okay." So I started looking for a two-bedroom apartment. So bear in mind that this time I had stopped working because yeah, my card had run out, so I had stopped working. So I literally took the responsibility of the search on myself. She didn't do anything, to be honest. I was the one who was doing everything. I wrote so many applications. Thinking about it, and I probably wrote 50 or more. Like literally, I couldn't sleep at night because I was always applying, refreshing, looking for new spaces and stuff. So yeah, I wrote over 50 applications. And then at the end of it all, when I counted the visits in my calendar, I visited almost 30 spaces. Initially, the first few ones were like the self-contained or room or whatever, but at least 25 of them, or maybe 24, were two-bedroom apartments. Anyway, before I knew it, October 31st came. I had to move out of the space. Thankfully, a friend I had met at work said to me, "Oh, my husband said you can put your stuff in our garage and you can stay with us." And when she made the offer, I was really hoping and praying, that I would not take up the offer, because when I realized there wouldn't be any room, I realized that it's not just me who will be inconvenienced. Like there will be inconvenience, like someone staying in your living room, like where your TV is, you're not free anymore and everything. So I was really, really praying that it wouldn't come to that, but it came to that. And it wasn't 1 day or 2 days. It was literally almost, it was more than 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So I moved my stuff into the garage, as you saw. And then, yeah, I was on their couch. And then from time to time, I would go to another friend's house and stay on that one's couch. And that was the most stressful, that was the most stressful 4 weeks of my life since I came to Belgium. Because at this point, I couldn't even sleep at some point. Honestly, I had to get a prescription because at night, all through the night, I'm looking for houses to apply to, sending application sending application letters, booking appointments. Sometimes I had one appointment a day, sometimes two, three, sometimes even four. Sometimes I would have a house appointment by 8:30 p.m. at night. It was that crazy. Like it was such a crazy experience for me, you know. Yeah. So much was going on. So much was going on. I'm truly grateful for my house boss, the lady the basement I stayed in, because she was so helpful. She was always checking on me, always sending me houses, always asking, "Have you gotten a place now? Have you gotten a place now?" Like, I couldn't believe that someone that I cut my contract with would be that kind to me, but she was so kind. She was so kind. It was heartbreaking. You go to see a house, and then sometimes even before you get home, they tell you, some people just ghost. In fact, most of them just ghosted me entirely. Nothing. Sometimes you make an appointment, and even before you like get there, maybe you have an appointment for say 4 in the afternoon. By 10 or 11, they send you a message, say, "Oh, sorry, someone has taken it." It was crazy. It was crazy. Like, honestly, I can't even wish my worst enemy to go through what I did, because it was crazy. The pressure was intense, like, yeah, it was a lot. I think that was the final blow to my mental health, which is why I said in one of my videos that my mental health took, it took a beating, and this was a huge part of it. Yeah, not having a place, not having your own place is one of the most difficult things ever. But anyway, long and short, after all the going, the coming, the back, the forth, everything, I found my place. The friend I stayed with, she used to say, when you find the place God wants for you, it will be easy for you. And in my mind, I just thought, yeah, she's just trying to encourage me. But absolutely, that's what happened right in this space, because I got this place like this. Like, it wasn't, the funny thing is, I remember correctly, the day I came to view this space, from the lobby, I said, don't worry, you're not getting it, because it's an incredibly beautiful building and beautiful apartment. So in my mind, I already wrote myself, I was like, yeah, they're never giving it to you, so don't bother about it. But long and short, I did. I got the space, and I'm so, 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 so thankful. I'm so grateful. Like, just waking up in the morning, that natural light that I wanted. A few days ago, the sun was shining so bright, and my room I was like trying to find, where am I going to hide? The sun is so much, because I don't like to close my curtains, except maybe the light is on and I'm getting dressed or something. I don't like to close my curtains. And I was trying to say, where am I going to stay now that the sun is not going to hit me? And it hits me that this is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you pray for. And I'm so grateful. I wake up in the morning, I can see the sky. And I'm actually really, really grateful. I'm so, so grateful for this place. Anyway, seeing as I've spent so much time telling you guys my story, I'm going to cut this video short here. And then in the next one, I will come back and share my takeaways from my house search with you guys. Remember, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, please share, comment. I would love to know what you think about this vlog. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye.